It's Friday night on the Matt Sager podcast, and I'm Matt Sager. Hope you had a great week. Looking forward to the weekend. I need to get to bed early. I've got a major, super intense Pilates day tomorrow, which I need to make up for all my time spent in front of the TV today. Today was the debut of Matt Groening's new Netflix series, Disenchantment. I haven't made it all the way through yet, and I'm going to be totally honest, it's not a home run. I say that in the context of our golden age of television we're living in which a embarrassment of riches of wonderful entertainment is everywhere. I grew up in an era of 3 networks. In this landscape of monopolies, if you wanted to be the highest rated channel on any given day at any given hour, all your show needed was to be better than whatever was on either of the other 2 channels or on PBS, and that made you number 1. Didn't need to appeal to demos, didn't have to appease advertisers. You were competing with channels 4 and 7 if you were channel 2, and that's it. And it wasn't that difficult compared to squaring off against The Man in the High Castle on Amazon Prime, Mad Men reruns on Netflix, Castle Rock on Hulu, Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. What I'm saying is you could quit your job, cut off all ties with the outside world, and only consume the entertainment that's available to you through your streaming device at home. And you would die before you got through half of the amazing quality content that's available to us now. So standards are higher, and the landscape is much trickier to navigate. That said, it's also a breeding ground for creativity. You can tell stories you never could have told before because you were constrained by network executives and their standards and practices departments and angry special interest groups. Now you've got billion-dollar companies lining up, offering gigantic paychecks for your creative baby, for the show that matters most to you. The problem is, if you're Matt Groening and you've spent decades honing the art of storytelling in those confines, getting a name for yourself as a rebel, chafing at those restrictions, pushing the envelope, but still ultimately telling a 22-minute story in a 3-act structure for a network. That doesn't necessarily make you suited for a really bold, uncharted kind of new form of storytelling on Netflix. It's a generational thing, I'm afraid. I hate to say this. But Disenchantment misses the mark. It's trying to be all things to all people. Matt Groening claims that it's his first real staunch feminist story. I don't really pick up on that. It kind of feels like he gets the energy that he's supposed to put out there, but it does not feel genuine. It doesn't feel particularly, I'm not a woman here, but I'm not seeing messages of real empowerment. And worse, I'm seeing the story meander off into parts unknown. I know that the milieu in which it's set is called Dreamland, but this is not a good first start. Much like Arrested Development, which I couldn't wait for it to make its debut on Netflix a few years ago. When it did, it was a gigantic disappointment because they were trying to tell the story differently. It did not make the transition well. And a few months ago, when series creator Mitch Hurwitz went back to the well, just getting ready for season 5 to drop, he did this remix of Arrested Development season 4 to make it more of a cohesive story. And in so doing, he took it from 13 episodes to 22, made it impossible to enjoy, impossible to even follow the story, and really, really bungled it. Then a couple days later, season 5 came out. They released 7 of what is going to be 14 episodes, apparently, someday. The episodes were garbage. They were not well received. They were accompanied by a disastrous press conference in which it was revealed that Jeffrey Tambor had emotionally abused Jessica Walters on set, and all the guys were trying to cover for him and defend him, and it was just the worst look at the worst time for a show that desperately needed good press. And it was just insult to injury. So this crummy version of this show that we all remember so fondly debuted alongside the news that apparently many members of the cast, specifically many of the males in the cast, are terrible people. Jessica Walters crying on set. She's been a professional actress for 6 decades. She's worked alongside difficult people. She's worked in environments where women were treated as far less than human. And for Jeffrey Tambor to be able to push her over the edge while shooting Arrested Development for Netflix says hateful things about Tambor, who has already worn out his welcome at Amazon Prime after apparently making Transparent a toxic working environment. So not all at Netflix is wine and roses. and not all animated series that look great at first blush turn out that way. I'm only halfway through Disenchantment, but I am not super enthused about seeing it through to the end. I'll do it. There's certainly worse ways to spend a couple of hours, but I really expected to love it, and I'm saddened that I don't. But honestly, I'm less interested, in my opinion, on Disenchantment than in yours. I'd like to know if you've seen it. If not, I suggest you give it a shot. Because first of all, results may vary. You may like it quite a lot. And if you don't, I'd be interested in comparing what it is that we do and do not find ourselves agreeing and disagreeing on regarding the show. If it is, in fact, as I perceive it to be, a kind of creative failure, be interesting to have a conversation about why. I honestly think that the first episode so far, a princess, an elf, and a demon walk into a bar, that's the worst episode to date. It attempts to establish the series and get you ready to understand what's happening and immerse you in Dreamland and introduce every character. And to do this in, well, they gave it a few extra minutes. Most of the episodes are 28, 29 minutes. That first episode has like an extra 8 minutes allotted for story and character development, and it's not enough. I just finished Faster Princess Kill Kill, the 5th episode, and I'm going to see it through to the 10th episode tonight, watch what will either prove to be the series or season finale, depending on whether they continue, and let me know what you think about it. Check it out on Netflix, and then send me an email at matt@mattsager.com, or hit me up on social media. Twitter is @MattSager, Facebook, The Matt Sager, and my voiceover page, Matt Sager VO, Instagram, Real Matt Sager, and my website, which has all my social profile links and episodes of this podcast, blog posts, my voiceover reels, all kinds of stuff about me. It's mattsagervoiceover.com.